There's a little story that I tell, and I've probably told it to y'all, about this little boy that would go to the park about every day with his mother. And one day his dad was off work, and he said, "I'll take you," and because he'd never been. So they got to the park, and there was all of the mothers, and he was the only dad there. And then the little boy was about 4 years old, and he spotted his little friends in the sand pile, and he went over there to that sandbox to play. You know, at age 3 or 4, kids are beginning to get their independence. They want to have some independence while they can still see the parent. They don't want the parent to go away, but they're gaining that independence. So he was over there in the sandbox, and every once in a while the dad would go over there and check on him, and the little boy would be embarrassed. He'd want the dad to go on, but every once in a while, the little boy would look up over there at that bench and see his dad. And that was his security, seeing his dad sitting on that bench. So, in a few minutes, the dad needed a drink of water. And he walked maybe 20 feet to the water fountain to get a drink of water. About that time, the little boy looked up, and his dad wasn't on the bench. And the little boy got scared, and he got up and he was running. All of this took place in a matter of seconds. He ran around for a minute looking for his dad. You know, of course, he's real short and his dad's tall. The dad never took his eyes off the little boy. He knew where he was. And so all of a sudden, the little boy saw his dad, and he ran up, and that fear turned to anger. And it looked more like rage and what that little boy started doing, but it was fear. And so he started fussing at his dad and would kind of even kick at him. "Where were you? I was scared. I didn't know where you were." And now if that father is healthy, he will let the child have his feelings. He will even encourage him. He'll say, "Well, tell me more, and let the child have his feelings, because he got scared because his security had left he thought left the playground. And this just takes a few minutes. And so if the father is wise, he'll get out on eye level with the little boy and let him have his little fit. And then when he gets through having his little fit, a lot of times they'll start crying because underneath the fear is pain. And so the dad, if he's healthy, he will just gather him up in his arms, hug him, and then the little boy will push away. You know how kids are when they get tired of being hugged. He'll push away, get down, and go back over in the sandbox and play. Now, if that father is not okay with his own feelings, he might say something like, "You better stop crying, or I'm going to give you something to cry about." Or hush, because the father will be embarrassed that these mothers are watching, and they are, but he's embarrassed, and all he wants the kid to do is shut up, just be quiet. He'll do anything to get the kid quiet. Well, the more he does, the louder the kid gets. And all of a sudden, he tries bribing him. He'll say, "Listen, can you hear? That's the ice cream truck." And he'll buy him an ice cream, maybe one for each hand, anything to shut the kid up. So the message in that is the child gets the message that feelings are not okay, particularly what we would call maybe inappropriate feelings. They're very appropriate, but his fear or anger is not acceptable. And so he's being taught at a very early age to push those feelings down and to hush up. So when that happens, and if that happens over a long period of time, and they push the feelings down, they have got to find a way to come out.